Today we're making these stunning paper angel ornaments. They're charming, a little vintage, super easy and inexpensive to make. And there are so many ways to be creative with these depending on the paper you use, the ribbon, the colors. The possibilities really are endless. So grab something warm and cozy to drink and join me for a cozy, snowy day in December. My name is Bethany. Welcome to Joyful Habits. Hello friends, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. I hope you've been having a great December. Today we're making some paper angel ornaments, but you may have recognized a few of the other ornaments on the Christmas tree. I think I've made an ornament video every year so far. But yeah, if you haven't seen those other videos, definitely check out my Christmas playlist if you want to see how I made some of those other ornaments you see on the tree. So like I said, today we're making these cute little angels. These ornaments are kind of new to me. I made little paper angels when I was a kid, but I never went so far as to make them into finished ornaments with all the bells and whistles. So today I'm drawing from my childhood memory as well as some online inspiration, and we are going to make vintage paper angel ornaments. So the materials we need for this craft include paper, obviously, and then whatever you want to hang the ornament with, whether that is string, twine, or ribbon. You'll need wooden beads for the angel's head, and then ribbon, lace, glitter, or any other embellishments you might want. Over the years, I've collected lots of different ribbon scraps, so I'll definitely be using some of those. And we'll also need scissors and a hot glue gun. Now, the paper you use to make these ornaments is the first opportunity you have to truly customize these angels. You can choose colored paper, patterned paper, or as I'm doing here, I've printed out some vintage Christmas sheet music. The other way you can customize these ornaments is with the size. I have 3 different sized music sheets that I'll be experimenting with, and spoiler alert, although they all turned out lovely, I ended up preferring the smallest size the best. For reference, the smallest one I used today is about 3 by 5 inches, the medium was about 4 by 6, and the largest one was about 5 by 7. But honestly, there is no wrong way, just experiment with the sizes and see what you like best. And if you've been around my channel for any length of time, you won't be surprised that yes, I'm pulling out the coffee again. I've used this method many times in my videos, and that is to soak the paper in coffee to give it a vintage look. I first saw this method on a random craft show on TV, and for whatever reason it became a core memory and is just a paper staining method I've used a lot ever since. So I just filled a casserole dish with some coffee here. I do find that large and shallow dishes work best for soaking. The wide and shallow dish requires less coffee and provides a large enough surface area to lay the papers flat. You can put multiple papers in to soak at the same time. If they overlap a little, it's okay. Just be cautious not to rip the paper or let them get stuck together. You can soak the papers for as little as 10 minutes or as much as a few days. I once forgot about a project and it sat in the coffee for multiple days. But I've also been in a hurry and only soaked the paper for a few minutes. The longer it soaks, generally the darker the stain will be. If you're really trying to get a dark stain, I find that letting the paper dry in between soaks works really well. And if your papers come out too wrinkly after soaking them in the coffee, you can press them flat between heavy books, or you can even very lightly iron them. If you iron them, please be very cautious. Use low heat and place a towel over top the paper before ironing it. I'm starting here with the smallest paper, which has Jingle Bell sheet music printed on it. I had already previously soaked this in coffee and let it dry. To start folding our angel, the concept is very simple. You just want to accordion fold the paper basically into a fan. An easy way to get started, though, is to fold the paper exactly in half, and then again, and then in half a third time. Then we unfold it and begin our small accordion folds. I find with things like this, it helps to press the creases after every fold, or at least after every few folds. You don't need any special tool for this. I'm honestly just using the scissors, the handle of the scissors to do this, and it worked really well. Now for each angel ornament, you'll need 2 papers exactly the same size, so keep that in mind when you're printing out your music sheets or buying your paper or whatever you end up deciding on for that. Just know that 2 pieces of paper is 1 ornament. My accordion folds were not perfectly even, as you can see, but I found this didn't really affect the final product too much, luckily. Obviously, try to get it as neat and even as you can, but if it's a little off, I think that's okay. We are going to accordion fold both of the sheets of music, and then they get glued together. Now that we have both papers accordion folded, we need our string and hot glue gun. First, we're going to decide how large the angel's wings are going to be. And once I decided where I liked it on one, I just held both the accordion folded papers next to each other to make sure that both sides matched perfectly. If you wanted to be really precise, you could take measurements, but I was just sort of having fun and eyeballing it. Once we have our wings figured out, we need to measure out the string or ribbon that we'll be hanging the ornament with. And we'll be gluing the string on the opposite side of the wing on one of the papers. And that's where eventually it will be tucked between both papers once they're put together. Hopefully that makes sense. Now that the string is attached, we can glue both the papers together. Now please do not make the mistake I made here. You see, my printer is not able to print double-sided, so the sheet music is only printed on one side of the paper. The other side is blank. I accidentally had one side showing blank and one side showing the sheet music when I glued the 2 sides together, and that did not look great, so I had to carefully rip them apart and re-glue them. Which worked out okay, but it did leave a messy glue trail right down the middle of my ornament, and I wasn't super thrilled about that. At first I was feeling a little discouraged, thinking I was already messing up and it was only my first angel ornament. But luckily I ended up finding a solution which I think actually made the ornament even more beautiful in the end. Once the 2 sides are glued together and the wings are glued down as well, we want to fan out the wings and skirt a bit. And voila! You'll see the angel form starting to take shape. We now thread the wooden bead onto the string, and I tied a little knot just to hold the head in place, and then another knot at the very end so it created a loop to hang the ornament. Because of the glue streak though, I wasn't sure if maybe I'd have to flip the ornament around and use the blank side as the front and hide the sheet music on the back, which I don't think would have looked bad, but just wasn't the plan I had in mind originally. I think you could definitely make these ornaments with just plain paper and it would be absolutely beautiful, but I really wanted to use the sheet music. For this first ornament, I decided to use a really pretty blue ribbon. So I tied the blue ribbon into a bow and attached it, and then I had the idea to continue the blue ribbon down the front to cover the glue. which I actually really loved the way that looked. So what started out as a mistake actually helped me be more creative. Reminds me of Bob Ross. What does he say? There are no mistakes, just happy accidents. So it is now the next day and it is snowing. The other music sheets finished soaking in the coffee and dried overnight. I moved my little table over to the window so we could watch the pretty snow falling while making the rest of our angels. The perfect cozy snow day to stay inside with a warm cup of tea and work on a Christmas craft. I finished trimming the rest of these music sheets and then we begin the accordion folding. I sort of forgot to do that thing where you fold it exactly in half and then in half again and then again. This time I just started my small accordion folds, and while it still worked, I did find it was a little harder. So if you try this craft, definitely remember to do those 3 half folds first, unfold it, and then begin your accordion fold. Also remember to use something to crease the folds every few times. This helps keep the accordion folds in place and just makes the whole thing neater. Glue the twine in the middle of the 2 sides. This time I was much more careful to use less glue and to make sure both sides had the sheet music facing forward when I glued the 2 sides together. Then we're going to glue the wings down, and our angel shape is beginning to appear again. Once again, we thread our wooden bead and tie a knot to keep it in place. Then tie your knot at the very end of the twine to create the loop. I chose this beautiful green ribbon for this one. I was debating for a little while on the larger or thinner green ribbon, but ended up going with the larger. Although watching this back, I'm starting to second guess myself again and think maybe the thinner ribbon would have been nicer. I don't know, there truly are so many possibilities with these ornaments and so many ways to customize them. Now when I went to hang the ornaments on the tree, I ran into a little problem. I do not know why, but this wooden bead did not want to stay in place, and this poor angel ended up losing its head. I messed with the twine for a bit, but then decided to just grab a little hot glue and put that inside the bead to help it stick to the twine and hopefully stay put. So I had some of this gold twine, and as I was taking a second look at this ornament, I had the idea to try adding a halo. I first had the idea of the halo floating above the angel's head. I grabbed a paper clip, unbent it, attached the little halo I made, and then thought about gluing the paper clip to the back of the angel somehow. I really love this idea of the halo and thought it had potential, but I ended up deciding to leave it out, mostly because I didn't like how the twine used for hanging the ornament would have to go through the halo. I then thought about just gluing the halo to the angel's head, and I did actually like this too, but eventually decided to leave it off and just keep things simple for now. I do plan to make more of these in the future, and so I decided for this first attempt I would keep it very simple, and then get a little bit more experimental with my second batch. As I'm editing this though, and I'm looking back at it again, I do kind of wish I had added the halo. I don't know, I just think I need to think it over a little bit, and with a little bit of tweaking, I think it could look really nice. Well, it is now dark again. The sun sets so early this time of year. I was only able to make one angel ornament before I had to stop because I had to get dinner going and then get ready for work the next day. I did make the rest of these off camera because I felt like it would be super boring for you to watch me accordion fold and just glue twine another 3 times. But don't worry, stick around to the end because I have a final reveal showing all of the ornaments together. I made one with white ribbon, one with red yarn, a third one with a pretty maroon ribbon. Also, with the last 3 ornaments I made, I stopped using twine to hang the ornaments and decided to use some of that pretty gold cord I had. I thought that would look a little bit better, and then if I do go back and add a halo later, it will match. Anyway, without further ado, here are all the angel ornaments that I made. My name is Bethany, and this is Joyful Habits, where we daydream and add a touch of whimsy to the ordinary. I'll see you all in the new year, and until then, Merry Christmas, and don't forget to smile. Bye, friends.